start. Let more people join later. So, fight, not flight, the battle of life with mind in wisdom. Mind in wisdom, 24/7, you live in meditative state 24/7. Who says this? One of the great masters and originator of this tradition, the Krishna. The Krishna is known as the originator, founder, even of yoga, tantra, mantra, a lot of stuff. So let us pay attention. Fight, not flight, the battle of life with the mind in wisdom is meditation. So what he says, Sukh dukkhai samay kritva labh alabho jaya jayo tatah yudhyay yujyaswah na evam papam. What he says, such a beautiful verse. The life goes into grief and the happiness. Life experiences loss and gain, victory and defeat. Can you keep your mind in the state of equanimity? These are happening outside, so can I keep my mind in that state of equanimity? You can say the permanent state of the peace and the happiness you discover in meditation. Can you keep your mind in that state? You have achieved your goal. Yes, I was waiting. So the topic, pay attention. Fight and not flight. The battle of life with the mind in wisdom is meditation. So what the Krishna says, when we work on the mind, we succeed in meditation. That's I have been saying all along. So profit and loss, pain and the pleasure, these pairs of opposites do not affect you. Let me add something more. In isolation also, or in mob, in marriage or divorce, in professional life and personal life, the mind is able to maintain that state of equanimity. So it is not a temporary state. But if you experience the temporary state, you have to continue the journey until you reach to that state of permanent peace and happiness. So what we have to do, we have to play this battle of life with peace and happiness and wisdom. Now think of a life. Think of a life which has only success, no failure. Can you say it is a life? Think of a life, it has only failures, no success. Can you call it a life? Monotonous. You desire is fulfilled. Can you call this life? But what is the truth? When I succeed, the world fails. When I fail, the world succeeds. What is that word? The word that gives me pain, pleasure, profit, loss, victory, defeat. Are you getting it? Pay attention. Success and failures both are the parts of life. I remember the days my master says, close your eyes. I could not close my eyes. I was so much scared. No meaning of success if I do not fail. no meaning of failure if we do not succeed. Both are the parts of life. Both helps me to evolve. Means what? Success. Arrogance is absence. Failure, flight, escapism in the mind is absent. But I see how to convert that problem into an opportunity. So Master says, maintain that state of equanimity, that state of mindfulness. When and where? 24/7. That is the journey of any meditation or mindfulness. And what is the world outside? World outside is perceived as pairs of opposites in the world. You wake up in the morning talking to honey, and the honey is not in a mood. Pairs of opposites. I thought that, I was moving in love and you don't want to talk. What happened to you? So you take a venture, you succeed, but you have a fear of failure also. That is how the mind perceives the world. That is the exact nature of the world. So question comes, should I be dictated by the world outside through the mind, or I should take over the world? In the world outside, we have success, we have failure, we have relationship, we have marriage, we have divorce, we have kids, we have profit, we have loss, we have pain and pleasure. This master says another word, play the game. So when you play any sport, you have a sportsmanship. So what the sportsman says, winning and losing is the part of the game. You are not affected. You are not affected. Winning and losing is not the end of life. Do you see that? So when your mind says it is not the end of life, you continue to play. There is another problem that Master says, Krishna says, that when we fail continuously, I heard long back in 70s, and I read that one American married 10 times, and then he went to a psychiatrist because he divorced 9 times. Asking the psychiatrist, can you tell me, is the problem lied with 9 women that I divorced, or is the problem with me? Ask yourself, how many times I divorced people? Not only the marriage I'm talking. I disliked this guy because he did not approve my proposal, and then I kept a distance, and my mind is constantly burning in pain. Unnecessary, unwanted. Krishna says, play the game. But if you don't play the game, then there is another fear. Then there is another great problem. We say, what should we do? I tried very hard in my life, but I always failed. It's a part of destiny. No, it is not part of destiny. You are responsible for it. Paul and Priscilla has seen the struggle in New Jersey. They support it. It is a part of life. We have to play the game. Now I enjoy being homeless. In those days, there was a problem of paying the rent. Paul used to come to my rented home. Only had a 1 room. It's okay. It is not a destiny. So sometimes people think it's a part of the destiny. No, not at all. Krishna says, no, fight the battle of life with equanimity. Learning how to keep the mind in the state of mindfulness. mindfulness. Look at it. Just think of it. Think of it. Your mind may be inviting you to just, mind says, come on, you have so many problems. Let me sleep. Why to sleep? I was just talking to just before the session. Last week, my mind says, oh, tomorrow morning, I have no session, so let me wake up at 6. Why? Why shouldn't I wake up as I wake up around 3? No. Let me enjoy. Let me check if the mind lives into that state. That level of determination is required. So when we believe that, oh, it's a destiny, I have been failing, because expectations are not met from the world outside, because you depend on the world deep inside your head. So the Master says, raise your mind, rise above. And that's what I have been saying. Work on the mind. Mind works on you. How? When you have a duality, a conflict, a like and dislikes, pain and the pleasure you experience, and you are overwhelmed by it. Either in relationship or in material objects and the things, you need to change your mind. You cannot change the outer circumstances if you do not change your mind. That is the journey of mindfulness. That is the journey of mindfulness. Now, the masters ask how to do it, and the same master answers. What Krishna says, do you have an intellect? Animal kingdom don't have it. It is pre-programmed. If you say it is intellect, it is pre-programmed. So the tiger remains the tiger throughout his life. The fox remains the fox throughout his life. So intellect, the power to make a right choice. Krishna says, do we have an intellect? Sometimes we have a beautiful and a wonderful intellect to give advice to others. But when the problem comes to our life, our intellect sleeps down. So Master says, what he says, such a beautiful verse, I always like to repeat it again and again. What he says, buddhaya yukta yaya partha karma bandhanam prahasyasi. He says, first use the intellect to understand what is mindfulness or meditation. You have never been driven a car. You don't know any principle, the rules. You don't have a driving license and you jump into the car. You said, let me drive it. So what will happen? The car will drive you. Car will drive you. And if the car drives you, then you know what happens. So he says, use the intellect. Is intellect ready to know and understand? That is what is listening and learning the principles. Followed by manan, contemplation and thinking. You should be clear in your head. There should be a clarity and a conviction. There is no doubt about in your mind. So when you don't have a doubt and you sit in meditation, will your mind wander? Ask yourself. But we say, okay, this guy is talking. Let us listen. We will do the practice and finish the session. Let us tolerate. It is not the question of tolerating. Master says, Krishna says, use your intellect. Use your reasoning. Why to use your reasoning? To filter out whether the mind in this experience is working on me or whether I work on the mind. That is why I have to use the reasoning. Oh, what a beautiful woman. I appreciated it. My mind appreciated it. Then we go back to the home. Mind says, what a beautiful woman. And the honey asks, what happened to you? This is the mind working on you. So you're constantly thinking and thinking. So thoughts become thicker. That is attachment. Attachment becomes thicker. It becomes desire. Then I lose interest in my honey. I'm just giving an example. You can apply to your house, you can apply to the smartphone, you can apply anywhere. The master says, apply the intellect to think, understand, and then follows the practice. So from today I'll continue to keep that different stages of mindfulness or meditation the same way, but I will tweak. I will add some of the steps. So I will explain to you that this is the stage 1, stage 2, stage 3. So that is how we will evolve into that practice. The last thing that Krishna says, did you understand the intellect has to be used to filter out whether the mind is working on me, whether I am working on the mind? Clear. No role of destiny at all. When I experience duality, pairs of opposites, pain, pleasure, profit, loss, success, ask the mind, hold on, use the intellect. Problem, use it as an opportunity. Convert that into an opportunity. Success, no arrogance. So when we understand the entire journey, the master says, it is much more beautiful than the previous two verses. Neha bhikramana shosti pratyavayah na vidyate. Even a little practice, a step in this direction will save you from great fears, from anxiety, from suffering, from isolation. Even a little, one step ahead. It does not mean that you take a one step ahead and 5 steps backward. That is not taking. You take one step at a time. Do it, understand it, practice it, experience it, repeat the practice. Check whether the mind is working on me or I am working on the mind. Fight. No flight in the battle of life. With wisdom that is awakened in the state of meditation and mindfulness. Let us start our journey. Close your eyes. Stage 1, we close our eyes. So when you close your eyes, which principle to apply? At the level of the intellect, you recall and remember that I cannot discover my true nature through any of the sense organs. Mind, did you understand? So the mind starts facing inside. The moment the mind starts facing inside, check the position of the body, the way you are sitting. Check yourself. I'm not asking you to sit in a particular posture and after a few minutes you have a pain, then you say it is pain meditation. It is a pain meditation. It is not. No, please don't do say that. I'm sorry Teddy could not join, but anyhow. So check the steadiness in the body and the mind is facing to the self. Don't struggle to hold, to force the body to be still. Just maintain an awareness. If there is any unease, drop that unease. How do you know the unease? Intellect. The mind says, no, I have lot of challenges in the body, hence I will continue to move the body in practice of meditation. You don't understand. You don't understand. The mind is working on you. So once there is a steadiness in the body and the mind is facing inside or to the self or simply aware of the space within, you leave the sense perception. They are wonderful instruments, no doubt, to see the beautiful world outside. The world is not you. Journey of meditation is to discover who am I. So in the stage 1, we move to the second step, being comfortable. We settle the mind through the body so that we can prevent the mind to go outside. How? Move the mind on the neck joint. Be there. Where? On the neck joint. Feel the sensation, comfortable and steadiness. So you go slowly. I just divided the today's meditation different stages. Normally there are no stages. But for the sake of understanding, your intellect would be very clear. There will be no doubt. So move the mind on the shoulder joints. Feel the sensation, being comfortable, and experience steadiness. So we worked on the steadiness in the body while the mind is facing inside in the first step here. We want to settle in that state. Why? So we can prevent the mind to go out through its fancies, through its imagination, through its past thoughts, through its past impression. And that too we are doing it naturally. Don't enforce. If you enforce a discipline, have you not seen in every country, lockdown, enforce the discipline, a lot of people have entered. A lot of people have broken that. That is what happens to the mind. So, move the mind on the hip joint, feel the sensation, being comfortable, and experience steadiness. Move the mind on the knee joints and ankle joints. Sometime your mind may say, oh, this is not important, I'm already comfortable. No, we are educating the mind to slow down the speed of its running after the thoughts and the past impressions, etc., etc. So every step is important. Move the mind slowly, gently. Where? On the entire body, on all the joints from the top of the head to the toes. Move it gently, slowly, as if you are strolling. And experience sensation, being comfortable, and steadiness, my friends. Stage 1 is done. Now we go to the stage 2. So in the stage 2, when we maintain what we are experiencing in the stage 1, that is most important. You cannot do meditation practice in pieces. You have to do it in peace. So the second step is to purify the mind and balance the prana. Chale vate chalam chittam nishchale nishchalam bhavet. The beautiful principle, the prana regulates the mind and the mind regulates the prana. And we will use both. So take a deep, silent, slow breath. Inhalation into the belly becomes a balloon. The chest expands. Keep your lips together. Look deep inside the forehead. And while breathing out through the nose, make the humming sound louder, deeper, longer. Take your time to inhale. No hurry. If you make a hurry and if you start making a noise while during inhalation, the mind has taken over you. What I have to do, I have to use the intellect. I have understood it. What did I understand? I have to breathe deep, silent, slow. It should take time. The longer it takes, the better it is. The same thing with the humming sound. Continue. Until the last breath. Keeping the body in the state of comfortable steadiness. Breathe in deeply. Continue, pay attention. The intellect pays attention how it is to be done. Instead of thinking of unwanted issues at this moment, please continue. Long, deep, loud as possible, but lips together. Focus deep inside the forehead. Continue. And stop humming. Check, are you in the state of comfortable? In the state of being comfortable, you feel the sensation and the sense of steadiness is maintained in the body. And in that state, in the stage 2, we will play with our own mind that has been playing on us for years, that we discussed today. So, look inside the head or the heart or anywhere even outside. The moment the mind picks up any thought, feeling, image, past, memory, you simply drop Om Shanti. How you drop Om Shanti? That is the biggest play. What is that? So that the thoughts have become thicker, and the thicker thoughts are attachments. That's why we have these thoughts entering into our mind as unwanted guest. So how you drop Om Shanti? Let me explain you by assembly. I go to you. You ask me what's your name. I say Om Shanti. What you do, Om Shanti. Where you go, Om Shanti. What you do, Om Shanti. Do you own a home, Om Shanti? For every thought in the form of a question that you ask, and my only answer is Om Shanti. So your only answer to any thought that pops up in the mind, any thought intrudes, gently, with a playful mood, Om Shanti. The mind says, do you see? You feel a very deep sensation into your right hand, Om Shanti. Thought comes about your honey, Om Shanti. Even if you love your honey at this time, no need to worry. We are meditating. Any thought from the past, any worry, any reaction, only one answer you give to the mind. Om Shanti. But you are doing it in a very humble, natural, playful manner. Not by reacting. If you react, it means you are controlling. No control, please. Continue. Om Shanti. And after some time, you only see the space. The mind that is working on you will be scared to invite any thought. But still it will do. It is playing trick with you. We are playing game with. Om Shanti. Feeling discomfort, Om Shanti. Comfort, Om Shanti. Past memory, Om Shanti. Thought about honey, Om Shanti. About our sibling, Om Shanti. About the neighbor, Om Shanti. About the president, Om Shanti. We don't give any importance to what is entering into the mind and what is going out. Continue. Om Shanti. I am with you. Om Shanti. So the stage 2 is now over. Stop saying Om Shanti. Let us move into the stage 3. The result of the stage 1 and 2 should be the stage 3. What is that? Move the mind on the head and the neck. Be there. And experience sensation, relaxation, and stillness. It is the stillness in the body. It is not the stillness of the body. Move the mind on the right arm. Be there. Feel. Experience sensation, relaxation, and stillness. Move the mind on the left arm. Sensation, relaxation, and stillness. Move the mind on the chest and the belly. Where the mind is? On the rib cage and the belly, the middle portion of the body, including the spine at the back. And experience sensation, relaxation, and stillness. The mind goes to the right leg. Just be there. Feel the sensation, relaxation, and stillness. The mind goes to the left leg. Be there. We're not in a hurry. And experience sensation, relaxation, and stillness. In the third stage, we check, and third stage is also checking and also a major step. The entire body experience, sensation, relaxation, and stillness. Third step is done. Stage 3 is done. And the stage 4 today, we have only one step. We have 3 centers. Center of the wisdom inside the head, center of the desire and emotion inside the heart, and inside the belly button, it is the center of action. Symbolically expressed, 3 powers of the mind. So we are going to tap the power of wisdom, the intellect. How? Look at the breath that is going in and out. When the breath goes in, look inside the forehead as deep as possible. When the breath comes out, look into the outer space, leaving all the contents in the space. We all are part of the infinite space, which is a container. Second point is done. Now the third point. So when the breath goes in, the mind jumps deep inside the forehead, dropping, saying Shantoham. Shantoham means I am the peace. Casually. And when the breath comes out, The mind also goes out. It becomes aware of the container saying Shantoham. Don't we see and realize we all live into that physical infinite space? And nothing happens to the space even when we are stressed, in anxiety. We are enjoying the pleasures. Pain or grief, duality and nothing happens to the space. So what we are asking the mind, know it. This is the way you have to live in. Continue. Such a simple way. The breath goes in. When it goes in, the mind jumps deep inside the forehead, Shantoham. You become aware of the inner space. Breath comes out, outer space. Yeah, content is there. You are aware of it. But you're not attached to it. Continue. We'll talk some other time. If we tap the three spaces, the physical space outside, the mental space, and the space where the true self dwells. Another beautiful principle. And I'll leave this, drop the Shantoham. Let us move to the stage 5, where we follow the same step, three-pointed awareness of the breath, doing nothing. Almost you are in a state of doing nothing. You are aware, you know the breath is going in and out. That is the first point of knowledge. Second point of knowledge, when the breath goes in, you feel the sensation because you know it. You experience it. It is your knowledge. And the third is no change in the rate and the rhythm of the breath. So whether I say you are aware of the breath going in and out, feeling the sensation and no change, whether I say it is a knowledge at the three-pointedness, or I say you experience the breath is going in and out, you feel the sensation and there is no change in the rate and the rhythm of the breath, in the state of mind living within and experience of sensation, relaxation and stillness. We have to fight, not flight. Battle of life. With wisdom in mindfulness. On doing nothing, remain as you are. Even when you were not doing anything, you were simply aware of the breath. And now what is going to happen? The mind will not, that awareness of the breath, it continues. Means what? Are you living within? So the last stage is in the living into the state of doing nothing, but the awareness, knowledge, and experience continues. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Bring your mind on the right hand and experience the change. During these trying times, because of the corona, we will not put our hands on the eyes. Move the mind on the left hand. Feel the change. And open your eyes slowly to share your experiences now. So, how are you, Paul and Priscilla?
I really enjoyed the humming. We hadn't done that for a while, so that was a good technique.
Good. And Priscilla?
Yes, I like the different stages. I was able to ease into it, and my mind was totally black inside, and I could feel myself merging with the outside air.
That is another part.
Air. And your voice, usually your voice just is kind of all around, but I could hear it this time as just very separate.
Wonderful.
I don't know why.
I can be your assistant.
What?
I can be your assistant.
Yes, you can. It will be.
Very good. So Terry joined a little bit late. She has a difficulty. How about you, Terry?
I have a question. If the space if the piece is inside and we don't see inside with our senses, it seemed to me like the darkness was in front of me, but
right.
I did the out and in. So
right.
The question is the piece also in the space, or is it only inside us?
Yes. When I give a higher practice of meditation, we break this principle and crush this principle, what is inside and outside. There is nothing inside and outside. It is only one self that permeates. It is the one water that pervades the ocean, the waves, and the foams and the clouds. Water is the essence. So you are right. Whether you experience Peace in the space outside, good. In the inside, good. Both, good. So as we move into the higher journey, then we ask the intellect, what is this inside and outside? I'm not giving an answer to that, how to break that. That happens in deeper meditation, Terry. How about you, Vivek? Where are you? I don't see you. Anyhow, you can talk. You have to unmute it. Ashok, can you unmute and talk?
It was more peaceful today and enjoyed. Thank you so much.
You see that your honey is ready to give you orders. I hope you will remain in peace. I could hear her voice. Very good. So, how are you, Samir?
Sir, it was very good and everything dark inside, totally black.
Very good. Good.
Very
Good, good. And how are you, Pushkar?
Sir, I enjoyed the session and shall I feel the strong vibration in my forehead.
That is good. Continue. Sangeeta.
सर आज थोड़े विचार थे पर वो शांतो हम से काफी बहुत बहुत अच्छा लगता था उसमें.
Yes, I think you are talking about dropping the Shantoham when any thought enters into the mind casually and naturally is also a very great step that calms down the mind. Bilkul, very good, Sangeeta. And then we have Jerry and David, yes.
Good morning.
Good
Thank
morning.
you. Or good evening, I should say.
Good evening, yeah.
For me today, I lost the boundary. I think similar to what Terry was referring to, looking inside, focusing there, and then when you had us focus to the outside, the boundary, the borders went away.
Wonderful. That is really wonderful. You see that there is a principle. Maybe we can talk in this series. The space is inside my home and the space is outside my home. Do we have two spaces or it is only one? It is only one. So mind breaks these notions that there is something inside and outside. And when it breaks the notion, the mind goes into the state of mindfulness. How are you, David?
For me, it was a very interesting session. Going into the stage 3, it was like I was in the bottom of an empty volcano, looking up and seeing a small pinhole of light. And by the end of the third stage, the boundaries had gone away, kind of, I think, like Priscilla and Jerry were talking about.
Oh,
and so
wonderful.
the light became clear.
Wonderful. We are progressing. I think this is really wonderful. So, who is left? We have Vaibhav and Vivek, yes.
So, sir, after doing the humming, it feels like I am inside me and it's all dark, and then I'm feeling very calm inside.
Very good. Wonderful. Wonderful. So, my friends, so we started the journey. Say it is lesson 1. And then every week I'm going to tweak and modify the practices based on what you are doing when I see you. So I'll put up those customized steps. Thank you very much for joining me. And that is all for today.
Thank you.